Welcome to Between Over and Next with your hosts, Holli and Robert, a happily married couple who explore the space between what was, what is, and what's to come. From career changes to navigating life's uncertainties, this dynamic duo will empower you to live your happiest life at every age and stage. So, get ready because your journey with Holli and Robert starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Between Over and Next. Hi, Holli.
Hi, Robert.
So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about life transitions that happen along the timeline of our lives that affect our relationships. And there are lots of those things that happen, and you hope that those events ultimately strengthen your relationships. It's going through these life-changing events that help us grow. And now we see our children and our family members and our close friends, children experiencing those same things, whether they be new jobs or getting married and getting pregnant and having babies. On first birthday parties, we have vivid memories of all of those life events that changed us forever.
And even in later years, it could be career changes, it could be retirement, it could be becoming an empty nester. There are many major life changes where our relationships evolve. So today we're talking about the series of transitions and milestones that not only shape the landscape of relationships, but also the possibility of reshaping our relationships. So we just had a relationship milestone.
We did. We celebrated our wedding anniversary.
And that marks an important stage in our relationships development. Anniversaries, meeting the family, buying a home together. So many significant events that impact our lives. And I think it's really important that we celebrate these milestones together to strengthen our relationship, our bond, that we plan for the future with mutual goals to work towards. And one of my favorite things to do is reflecting on past milestones, because that is how you can really appreciate your journey together.
I agree, but that also depends on how you choose to document those milestones. I think we've gone much further than most in documenting. We have two amazing videos of our children's first year, including video that we captured of their birth from a respectful position that we could share later on, because we knew that we were recording that. That's, talk about a milestone event, right? And we do everything when we document in hopes that it will be watched, either by us
Well,
or
it brings
our
back
children.
some happy memories and also the people that are in our lives at that moment in time, whether it be wedding video, birthday videos, any video for that matter. But overall today, we want to shine a light on common relationship transitions, even recognizing the impact on romance and sexual dynamics, being a sexagenarian for sure, communication strategies for navigating transitions, and prioritizing intentional connection and quality time. And these are all things that we are very mindful of. Every single transition holds the power to strengthen or create tension. It could go either way, Robert. They're pivotal moments. You have to be aware of them.
Yes, it's how you approach those moments that determine the outcome of those moments. These life events rarely sneak up on you.
Couples have to prepare and adapt. And it's really about relationships thriving, Robert. These transitions actually impact the daily routine of a couple's life.
Absolutely.
And you have to recognize them. So how do you deal with change? It affects our time, our emotions, our needs, our priorities, and also our intimacy. And communication, which you know I highly value, is vital in dealing with changes. We got to keep talking to each other and listening to each other and understanding each other.
I think to help through change is having a strong relationship to start with. Every couple has issues. That's a given. A strong relationship is a strong relationship. So that's going to be there through the good life transitions and the more challenging life transitions. Getting through those life transitions, passing through them successfully, only lends to strengthen a relationship even further because you learn things about each other individually, yourselves as a couple.
But it's about communication and sharing feelings with each other and thoughts with each other. And those can be a mixed bag.
Many of these life transitions involve not only you as a couple, but your immediate family and your extended family as well.
Without a doubt.
And this was evident to me as an event person when you deal with a family who's, let's say, having a bar bat mitzvah or a quinceañera,
yes,
or a sweet 16. That's one family planning the event.
Right.
Then you have a wedding. Now suddenly it's two families that you've got to consider and other people, and then now you have grandchildren that are shared by two families. So the intersection becomes even further.
Well, the decisions, think about it.
There's life ties that become, right? When you have a child, you have two sets of grandparents that now at that point, no matter what happens to the relationship, the marital relationship that brought you there, will always share grandchildren. That will never change. So that relationship will be permanent.
Rewind a little bit. I think the coming together of getting married is so impactful. You have to be honest. You have to be open. You have to support and understand each other. That is key during changes in relationships.
There's a list that we used to talk about when we would record for Wedding Podcast Network about the things that couples should talk about before they actually get married. Like most couples, this could have, changed in recent years, like don't discuss finances and how much finances impact a relationship.
Communication during changes matter, and there needs to be active listening. So that is another important piece of advice based on our own experience. So we really need to understand each other's point of view during these changes. That means saying out loud, I understand. People need to feel seen, safe, and heard. You need to ask more open-ended questions for deeper conversations. You need to be genuinely interested in each other's thoughts. You really have to care.
Absolutely. These are, unfortunately, skills that are not taught in school.
I'm teaching them right now. This is a learning moment for everybody of every age.
When you talk about active listening, this is basic, right? It should be part of who we are as a society, listening to those who are talking to us. But that doesn't happen. So we have to learn how to listen and to give feedback. I learned a lot of it in the sales environment and how to act during a sales meeting to let your prospect know that you're listening to them, that you've heard what their pain points are, right? And you reiterate back to them, yes, I understand, that you're having back issues. This is why you should buy this mattress. Whatever it is that you're doing. The same thing in an interpersonal relationship. I'm feeling bad about something. Yes, I heard you. I understand. What is it that's bothering you? How can we resolve that? These are basic things that should be part of who we are. And I think for a lot of people, once you learn that, you're listening for it. It's an active process. It takes time to have that ingrained in you.
Communication matters. And the other thing that really matters in evolving relationships is prioritizing connection and quality time, which is something that we are very intentional about. And that's because we want to deepen our relationship, strengthen our relationship. We want a more resilient connection because it is the only way that it'll stand the test of time and that of change. I have a few really good tips to ensure that your relationship continues to thrive. One, to schedule regular check-ins. So that means to set up time every day or week to talk to your partner without any distractions. Two, to start new traditions or rituals. This could be a weekly coffee date or a nightly walk together. Three, express appreciation and show gratitude. Always thank your partner for their support and for the little things they do for you. Four, learn together, start a new hobby. Five, stay present and in the moment. Pay full attention to your partner when you're with them. That, to me, is important tips to stay connected. And then those shared experiences are the building blocks. I love everything we do together. And for us, it's not that hard. For some couples, it's really hard. It's very go, go, go. They have 2 career families and perhaps a family at home, and you really have to make the time. I love watching you cook. I love watching our TV shows together. I love planning whatever it is we want to do together. We have a very open, honest relationship. My feelings are out there 24/7. You know.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not.
No, we tend to be on the same schedule, right? I'm generally in the building. I may be down here in the studio or outside or whatever, but I'm around. For a lot of people, when you kind of see the routines of people around you, because we live now in a community where, you know, people are living in fairly general proximity to one another. So there are people, they leave at 10 to 6 in the morning, their garage door opens and they leave for the day and they're gone, right? You know, for Holly and I, we're together pretty much all day.
The important part is about keeping the spark alive, Robert, because it's not only the relationship with each other within the partnership or being a couple, it's also about with your friends and family. How do you strengthen those? Spontaneity is something I encourage people to embrace because sometimes the most unexpected opportunity to get together with your friends and family are the best times and the most memorable times that you're together. It's all about togetherness. It's all about joy, no matter what life is throwing your way. Right?
Yeah. Happy individuals make happy couples. You know, I would imagine, and I don't have any experience with this, where one person's happy in a relationship, the other person is not. That's clearly a communication breakdown.
Without a doubt.
I would hope bringing issues to light is the only way to really resolve them. I would hope that if you're in a relationship, and listen, this does not happen all the time. This is in an ideal world. But I would hope that when you're in a relationship that you have a good barometer on whether your partner is happy or not. I have no problem picking out when you're not happy with me, I think. I pretty much get notified when I'm stepping out of line.
Well, I'm a communicative person, okay?
Correct. That's what
listen,
I mean. It's not, we don't harbor issues.
But I think that's also why we do have a happy, healthy, strong, deep connection and relationship with each other. And that is something I highly value. And I would think you do too.
Yeah. You know, listen, whether it's, you know, work.
I mean, there's stressors.
Or
there's
like,
always stressors.
Right. But
change is stress for most.
But there's no reason.
You can't get through it.
You can't get through it, or you can't change it. Nobody is locked in cement that's unmovable and unchangeable. It may be more challenging for some than for others to make major changes in their lives. Some may find it's easier to do alone versus with a partner. But I think people should always have that circle of support around them. Friends, family. We talk about this all the time, the friends that become your family, or closer than your family. The family is your circle that are dealt to you. You don't have control over that.
But not only that, to actually surround yourself with people that have the same values.
That's the natural law of attraction. I think the law of attraction doesn't only happen in a romantic setting. The law of attraction happens in every relationship that we establish.
It's fun. It's fun to watch the changes that are happening in our friends' lives. We have been witnessing it all. We have witnessed new relationships and marriages with our own kids, with our daughter, with friends' kids, them moving and buying a new home, just like we bought a new home. That was change. And that's a big life change. Then having babies like our niece just did, our friend Judy, who just entered retirement, friends of ours who have had kind of a roller coaster ride in their late 50s and 60s in their career.
Yeah.
And that impacts what's going on with the couple, but with everyone around them, because everyone needs that support.
Well,
But-
it becomes a change. That's why so many people had such a challenge during COVID in shifting their lives. That was about as drastic a change as anyone has gone through. When you talk about something that affected virtually everybody to some extent, that put a lot of stress and challenges, but it also created a bigger sense and a more real sense of resilience, right? Those who came above that individually as a couple, I think definitely made you stronger and even more resilient. I think we all learned a lot.
Well, for
coming
us,
through
again, it
that.
was a little different experience because we've
There
been
wasn't
together
that huge
24/7.
change.
Most other couples, listen, some of them got deeper relationships and others probably went the other way.
Right.
Changes can shift priorities. And whether it is having a baby or even a promotion at work, right? Intimacy and romance is a really important part of a couple's life. And it's very often, I think, ignored or not talked about enough. I just know that couples need to work together. A lot of what we've already said about connection and communication. Importantly, you may need to redefine the meaning of romance or find new ways to show love, because there's no question that stress of change can lead to emotional exhaustion, which very often leaves little room for sexual closeness. So, again, I can't emphasize enough. Couples need to share their feelings and have heart-to-heart talks and be more conscious of little gestures like holding hands. Hold my hand, Robert. Okay.
Was that the cue? You wrote that?
Hold
grab
hands.
Robert's
Yes.
hand.
Yes, that was in the script, in the screenplay, and or sharing a hug.
Uh-huh.
How many times do I sometimes say to you, just give me a hug, just to alleviate.
Twice an hour.
I wish. It's all about keeping the connection alive.
We're not afraid to demonstrate that we are a connected couple. And truth of the matter is, most of the time, when we tell people that we not only are married for 30 plus years, but we work together,
There's shock factor.
I could never do that. I could never do that. I could never do that. Rarely are we met with, wow, that's fantastic. We do that, or I wish we could do that, So we are, without a doubt, in the minority. But for us, the universe put us together, because I do believe that, and we've talked about this in other episodes, there are no coincidences. I think we were meant to be together.
I agree.
I think that we determined our own path, for sure. When you came home from our honeymoon and Material Information,
I could have
the
started job
magazine
search.
you were working for, you could have easily just said, grab me the classifieds, will you? And the resumes would have gone out in the mail with the cover letters, and you would have got on the bus and gone into the city and done your interviewing, and in a few weeks, more than likely, you would have had a job somewhere, and you would have been
Who knows?
on that hamster wheel.
And who knows?
You know?
Who knows? But you know something?
Going into the city just like everyone was doing. Like, that was what people did, and people are still doing, you know?
Like 10 years ago, I revisited that.
Yeah, sure. No.
Now, you know,
Sure,
not only have I done some wonderful, not some, we have done so many wonderful things together, creating and connecting with others. I mean, importantly, I love being a role model and a mentor. I love inspiring others to do and be their best, and for us to be our best, apart and together. And that's our strength. But it is all about growth. It is all about growth. So seeing change as opportunities instead of problems, and to use these changes to learn more about ourselves, about each other, and to continue to talk about these things and celebrate the progress that we make. Because when I went back to consider working for someone else, for another business, I know I could have done it, but my heart was not really there. I really love the power of us. And you have to tap into that. You have to know what's best for you and your relationship. It is a mutual, collective decision.
We were fortunate to come together where, while we definitely have similarities and crossover, our skill sets, I think, are clearly defined in what we do, right? We're intersecting work-wise in the right ways.
But there is always going to be uncertainty. There are always going to be stumbling blocks and uncertainties.
Sure.
And change and transition. So importantly, you need to have an open mind, and you always have to be adaptable and flexible to deal with the change. And we are always in search of finding new ways to support each other.
Yeah. You know, as we grow, as we add on to our lives, and I think this has become most evident with hollyandrobert.com, our latest brand, we're re-experiencing things now, knowing so much more than we did when we first experienced it, right? First and foremost being the podcasts. When we were working together on Wedding Podcast Network, I'm sure that there were many moments that, you know, you were watching me lie there sleeping peacefully, and you were saying to yourself, he must be out of his mind, because this, you know, what is this? How are we going to do this? What is going on, right? You know, now we're entering into this space again with so much more knowledge and wisdom and experience in not only what we've done personally and professionally in this space, but for others, and what we continue to do for others, you know, allows us to do this, I think, in a much more, I don't want to use the word relaxed, but comfortable way, right? Like, we didn't have to learn to be podcasters.
But we also understand the between, over, and next moments. They really are pivotal moments. So, again, the transitions of our lives, the changes of our lives, the changes of our relationships.
Well, I also think that realistically, in what we can give emotionally of ourselves, and it becomes more finite as we get older, I think. So that pool of time and emotion and energy will be spread over however many people and experiences you choose.
But it has to be mutual to grow together.
Well,
like,
that's
no
the
matter
thing.
what
but
it is,
now,
we are the foundation, the root of our family.
Correct.
You know, I mean, our parents started it all for us.
But we
created this past 32 years.
But we have said more and more in recent years about how we don't want to spend time doing things that don't fulfill us, and spending time with people who don't fulfill us. That is something that we have become increasingly more aware of.
So ultimately, it's the commitment to grow together rather than apart. And that's what transforms these transitions into enriching chapters of a shared story. How fabulous is that? So, in conclusion, this is what I want to leave you with. To continue to prioritize communication and emotional connection, to adapt and grow together as individuals and as a couple, and to embrace change and challenges as opportunities for growth. Be understanding and embracing relationship transitions and milestones so you can foster a strong and fulfilling partnership with your loved one. Remember, though, every relationship is unique. So we recommend you tailor anything that we shared with you today to your specific needs and circumstances. This is not a one-size-fits-all. We just know based on our success in our relationship, we just want to pay it forward because we are always here for you to up-level your relationship with yourself and with others. Right, Robert?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we hope you'll subscribe.
Yeah. So
and stay updated on our latest episodes.
Yes, we are available to listen to wherever you can get podcasts, whether that be on Apple iTunes or Spotify or Amazon or YouTube.
And follow us, please.
YouTube
follow
has
us. Subscribe to
podcasts.
us because we're going to have more about growth and change and building lasting connections.
Correct. So on our website, if you're listening to us there are subscribe buttons right in the post. You can search us on the internet, and you can find us very easily, Holli and Robert, between over and next. But we appreciate your listening. We appreciate you
taking the time
to
be with us because
Thank
we want you to stress less.
Thank you to those who have left reviews for us. It means more than you know, and if you haven't had the opportunity to leave a review, we would certainly appreciate that. So tune in every Tuesday for a new episode of Between Over and Next. And as always, Holli, it's fantastic to be by your side.
I love you, Robert.
I love you, Holli. Thanks for tuning in to Between Over and Next. We hope you enjoyed this episode and found it meaningful and insightful.
If you value it to be worthwhile, please share it with your friends and family.
We would really appreciate it if you could take a moment to write a review for us. Your feedback will help us continue to create content that resonates with you.
And don't forget, in the show notes, you can find all the relevant links mentioned in this episode, from accessing free downloads to visiting our website and more.
If you have any questions or comments, we would love to hear from you. Simply send us an email. Our email address is hello@hollyandrobert.com. We're always excited to connect with our listeners.
So until next time, thank you again for joining us on Between Over and Next.
Thank you for listening to Between Over and Next, the podcast that navigates the twists and turns of life with courage, laughter, and a whole lot of inspiration. Tune in every Tuesday to hang out with Holli and Robert on your favorite podcast platform. Visit hollyandrobert.com and follow them on social media to ignite your passion and fuel your dreams.